Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on what really happens at a crime scene. If you forget everything you've ever seen in the movies, you'll find there's this methodical, step-by-step process that detectives use to actually solve a case. So, where does a real investigation even begin? Let's dive in. I mean, it's a great question, right? Is it some sudden flash of genius? A high-speed chase? Well, the truth is, it's usually a lot less about sudden drama and way more about careful, patient procedure. It's kind of like a giant puzzle, and putting it together all starts in one very specific place. That's right. Every single investigation kicks off at the physical spot where it all went down. This is ground zero. And you know how detectives handle this place in just the first few moments? It can literally make or break the entire case.
So, the very first thing they do is figure out the focal point. Let's say it's a burglary. They're going to pinpoint the exact spot where the burglar got in. And it's not just about, finding a broken window. It's about understanding the path that person took, because that path can be littered with crucial evidence they might have left behind.
Now, I know this sounds a little tedious, but it is absolutely crucial. They measure the room, the furniture, the distance between objects, everything. This gives them a precise blueprint of the crime. But a blueprint is totally useless if people start trampling all over the construction site, right? And that brings us to the next crucial phase. Okay, so once they've got the lay of the land, the number one priority is to preserve it. This whole part is about protecting the scene and every single potential piece of evidence inside it from getting ruined. You can almost think of it like a three-step protocol. First, you lock down the area to create this sterile environment, making sure no new junk gets in. Second, you get rid of anything that's already there that could confuse the evidence. And only then, once the scene is totally pure, can you start the super careful hunt for clues. We've all seen it a million times, the classic yellow police tape. But it is not just for show. It creates a hard physical boundary to stop anyone and anything from wandering in and messing up the scene with new footprints or fibers or DNA. And what's so interesting is that this applies to literally anything that could compromise the scene. We're talking about a family pet, an open window that's letting in leaves, or even just a running fan blowing things around. The goal here is to freeze the scene exactly as it was found. So, with the scene totally secure, the meticulous search begins. Now, detectives are looking for those tiny, often invisible traces that somebody leaves behind. This is where the scene really starts to tell its story. We're talking about microscopic stuff that you or I would never, ever see. A single strand of hair, a tiny fiber from a sweater, it's all based on this core principle of forensics. Every single contact leaves a trace. The bad guy always takes something from the scene and always leaves a little something of themselves behind. And I mean any kind of residue. This is perfect because it shows that absolutely nothing is overlooked. A smudge of dirt, a food crumb, or even Cheeto dust could be that one unique piece of evidence that connects a suspect right to the scene. The thing is, a physical crime scene can't be preserved forever. So the next move is to create a perfect, permanent digital copy that detectives can come back to anytime they want from anywhere. Using some really cool modern tech, the entire crime scene is scanned and transformed into this super detailed 3D model. This lets investigators virtually walk through the scene again weeks or even months down the line. They can check sightlines, look at things from new angles, and maybe notice a little detail that they missed the first time around. And creating this digital twin is a pretty big deal. It's a fusion of different technologies. You've got high-res photos capturing all the color and texture, video that gives you a sense of movement, and then these crazy high-tech laser scanners that map every single surface with millimeter-perfect accuracy. It's all those things together that build the complete, interactive digital crime scene. All right, so the measurements have been taken, all the little clues have been bagged up, and the whole scene has been digitized. Now comes the part where it all starts to come together. This is where those puzzle pieces finally start to form a picture. Every single item that was collected gets scrutinized in a lab. The fibers, the hair, that weird residue, it all gets analyzed. What detectives are looking for is a connection, something, anything that points them toward a potential suspect. So once the lab gives them a lead, like, say, a very specific type of fabric fiber, the whole investigation pivots. Now they can zero in on a person of interest, and the comparison begins. They'll look at that person's clothes, their shoes, their car, searching for anything that matches what was found back at the scene. And that is when you get the big aha moment. That strange orange dust from the crime scene, it's a perfect match for the dust all over the suspect's jacket.
The connection has been made, the case is cracked. So, when you really boil it all down, real detective work isn't about wild guesses or some sudden genius insight. It's a disciplined, step-by-step process of careful observation, preservation, and analysis. And it's all designed to do just one thing: link a specific person to a specific place.
It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? That core idea that every contact leaves a trace is the foundation of all forensic science. It really makes you think about all the tiny, unseen connections we make with the world around us every single day.